Hey guys, welcome to this new episode. A quick note before we start this. Did you know that the Ethereum network has a lot going for it? It's decentralized, reliable, supports smart contracts written in a programming language familiar to many crypto developers, and is home to a thriving decentralized finance industry. However, Ethereum is also slow and expensive to use and will only remain so if users opt to move to another blockchain, like Solana, Phantom, or Avalanche, or until planned Ethereum upgrades speed things up within the next couple of years. While we wait for the Ethereum upgrades to catch up, a new fix for the scaling solutions is starting to pop up. These are pieces of software that sit on top of the base layer of a blockchain, in this case, Ethereum, to speed things up. Arbitrum is one such scaling solution, and it's become a popular venue for Ethereum users to complete their transactions. Today, what exactly is Arbitrum? It's like the superhero of the Ethereum blockchain. It swoops in to make everything faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Think of it like the Flash, but for blockchain transactions. While Ethereum manages a mere 14 transactions per second, Arbitrum races ahead at 40,000 transactions per second. Transactions cost several dollars to complete on Ethereum, while they cost about 2 cents on Arbitrum. Plus, Arbitrum also supports the Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM, meaning that Ethereum DeFi developers can integrate their decentralized applications, also known as dApps, with Arbitrum without having to make any modifications. Furthermore, Arbitrum was created by Off-Chain Labs, and the company has raised about $120 million in a Series B funding round in September 2021. So, you might be wondering how Arbitrum works to achieve this speed. Well, think of it this way. Arbitrum is like a secret underground tunnel that connects to the Ethereum mainnet. This tunnel is called a Rollup, and it allows for thousands of transactions to be processed at lightning speed. To put it into perspective, imagine you're trying to buy a ticket to a sold-out concert. The Ethereum mainnet is like the line of people waiting to buy tickets, and it can take forever to get out to the front. But with Arbitrum's Rollup tunnel, it's like you have your own VIP entrance. You get your ticket in no time, and you're ready to rock out. But wait, what is Rollup? A rollup is a type of data compression technique for blockchain transactions. It involves rolling up transactions into a single transaction. The benefit of this is that a blockchain only needs to process a single transaction, the rolled up one, instead of confirming each individual transaction contained within the rollup. This saves time. Since multiple transactions are confirmed at once, you don't have to wait until the blockchain gets around to your transaction. And in return, this saves money, since the blockchain only has to confirm the one transaction. If this is still confusing, let's use an analogy to explain it. Think of a roll-up technique as a baker who needs to make a large batch of cookies. Instead of baking one cookie at a time, which would take forever, the baker decides to use a rolling pin to make a long sheet of cookie dough. Then, the baker cuts the sheet into smaller pieces and bakes them all at once in the oven. Now, imagine that each piece of cookie dough represents a transaction on the blockchain, and the oven is the network that processes the transaction. The traditional way of processing transactions on the blockchain is like baking one cookie at a time, which is slow and inefficient. But with the roll-up technique, it's like using the rolling pin to make a large batch of transactions all at once, which speeds up the process significantly. In essence, a roll-up technique allows multiple transactions to be bundled together and submitted to the network as a single transaction. This makes the process faster and more efficient, while still maintaining the integrity and security of the blockchain. And, according to Arbitrum, any transactions confirmed through this process are rubber-stamped with the Any Trust Guarantee. This is when all the validators agree with the validity of transactions contained within a blockchain. These validators stake Ethereum before they can confirm transactions. By putting money on the line, they are incentivized to act honestly. Alright, now let's slow this down a bit. Before we round up, let's take a quick look at the Arbitrum token. The Arbitrum token is a native token of the Arbitrum network. It's like the currency that powers the engine of the Arbitrum train. Without it, the train can't go anywhere. One of the primary use cases of the Arbitrum token is as a means of payment for using the Arbitrum network. It's like buying a ticket to ride the train. You need to have some of that sweet Arbitrum token to pay for the privilege of using the network. But the fun doesn't stop there. The Arbitrum token can also be used for staking. Staking is like being a conductor on the Arbitrum train. You help keep the network running smoothly and earn rewards for your efforts. And just like how a conductor needs to be properly trained and certified, stakers need to hold a certain amount of Arbitrum tokens to participate in the network. But wait, there's more. The Arbitrum token can also be used for governance. Governance is like being a passenger on the train who also gets to vote where the train should go next. Arbitrum token holders have a say in important network decisions, such as changes to the protocol or upgrades to the system.
Optimism is not just an Ethereum scaling solution, but rather a specific implementation of a Layer 2 scaling solution known as Optimistic Rollup. Optimistic Rollup is designed to address Ethereum scalability issues by offloading transactional load from the main Ethereum network onto a secondary layer while maintaining the security guarantees of the main chain. Optimism is the name of a specific implementation of Optimistic Rollup. It is an open-source protocol and a team behind its development. The main goal of Optimism is to provide scalability and reduce transaction costs on the Ethereum network by leveraging optimistic execution and data availability. The key concept behind Optimistic Rollup is optimistic execution. Instead of processing every transaction on the main Ethereum network, Optimistic Rollup allows most transactions to be conducted off-chain on a secondary layer. These transactions are then bundled together and submitted to the main chain as a single transaction, referred to as a rollup. This approach significantly reduces the computational and storage requirements on the main chain. The off-chain transactions are validated by a set of validators who monitor the transactions for any potential fraudulent activities. However, instead of immediately executing the transactions, Optimistic Rollup assumes that the transactions are valid and processes them off-chain. This optimistic assumption allows for much higher throughput and lower transaction fees. If a fraudulent transaction is detected during the validation process, users can submit a fraud proof to the main chain, which triggers a dispute resolution process. If the fraudulent activity is proven, the protocol can revert invalid transactions and penalize the responsible validators. By using Optimistic Rollup, Optimism aims to provide significant scalability improvements for the Ethereum network, enabling it to process a larger number of transactions per second while maintaining the security guarantees of the main chain. If you don't understand all this, let's use an analogy to explain this a little further. Let's imagine a magical bakery called Ether Cakes, where the bakers create delicious cakes made of ether cream. However, the demand for these cakes keeps growing, and the bakery struggles to keep up with the orders. To handle the increasing demand, the bakers come up with a magical solution called Optimistic Oven. The Optimistic Oven is an enchanted oven that helps bakers bake cakes more efficiently and at a faster pace. Here's how the Optimistic Oven works. Cake assembly. The bakers start by gathering all the necessary ingredients and assembling the cake batter, just like they did before. However, instead of baking each cake in the main oven, they send batches of cake batter to the Optimistic Oven. Optimistic baking. The Optimistic Oven uses its magic to quickly bake multiple cakes simultaneously. It optimistically assumes that the cakes will turn out perfectly, based on the baker's expertise and the quality of the ingredients. Verification and finalization. Once the cakes are baked in the Optimistic Oven, a few specialized taste testers sample a small portion from each cake to ensure they meet the bakery's high standards. If any cake is found to be unsatisfactory, the testers raise a flag, and that particular cake is sent back to the bakers for correction. Serving the cakes. After the cakes pass the taste test, they are considered finalized and ready to be served to the customers. The bakers take the batch of baked cakes, including the ones that pass the verification process, and display them in the bakery for customers to enjoy. By utilizing the optimistic oven, Ethercake's bakery can bake a larger number of cakes in a shorter amount of time. The optimistic oven's optimistic baking process allows for faster cake production, reducing wait times for customers and increasing overall bakery efficiency. In this analogy, the Ethercake's bakery represents the Ethereum network, and the optimistic oven represents the optimistic rollup implementation. The cake batter batches being sent to the oven represent off-chain transactions, while the verification process ensures the integrity of the finalized cakes, analogous to the dispute resolution process in optimistic rollup.
Alright, let's end this video on this note. Arbitrum, just like every other rollup network, like Boba and Loopring, is surely doing us great service. But what happens when the Ethereum upgrade catches up with speed? At the same time, Arbitrum's main task is to make things easier for Ethereum users. So I kept asking why they actually put up or even need a token. And hey, I'm not concluding it yet. They will have their reasons, but please do let me know what you think about this open-ended question and Arbitrum as a whole in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel. And please don't forget to turn on your notifications to get notified each time we post a video on this channel. Thank you for watching. I will be seeing you in the next episode.